What's up, guys? James Carter TV here for yet another edition of my 32 teams in 32 days 2015 NFL season preview videos for each and every team in the NFL. Today, we are talking about the Atlanta Falcons, the team that has really disappointed the past couple of seasons, but I do see some good things in their future, in their immediate future, in this 2015 NFL season. And we will get into that. I will talk about their strengths, their weaknesses. We'll look at the toughness of their schedule, and I'll give you my win-loss prediction, including the best case and worst case scenarios. So, with that said, let's look at the strengths for this Atlanta Falcons team. Let's start with the obvious. Quarterback, Matt Ryan. I mean, this guy, yes, I wish he would win more playoff games, and I wish he would stop his team from being as poor as they've been the past couple of years. And I know that's asking a lot, because the defense has been piss poor. It's been horrible. It's been one of the worst in the league, but that's, fine. But I've never seen, there's not been a moment where Peyton Manning has been as bad as the Falcons were in 2013. And yes, they had injuries, but still. Peyton Manning's had some bad defenses. Tom Brady's had some bad defenses. Philip Rivers has had some bad defenses. Drew Brees has some bad defenses lately in your own division. But the worst I've seen them be is like 7-9. Like they don't go as deep and as low as the Falcons have found themselves lately. But with that said, and maybe that shows that Matt Ryan needs some help if he's going to compete, and then God knows how much help he's going to need to win a Super Bowl. With all that said, though, this is a guy that's a top 10 quarterback in my opinion, and a guy that a lot of you out there would love to have if you don't have him already. So, quarterback Matt Ryan. And second, your wide receivers. And this has remained consistent for the past 4 years. You have Julio Jones and Roddy White on the outside. Roddy White, who unfortunately is entering a steady decline in his career. But it's okay, because you drafted Justin Hardy out of East Carolina in the 4th round, I believe. And he could be someone that could develop into a good weapon for you. And even if he doesn't, you have Eric Weems, Devin Hester, and Leonard Hankerson as 3 guys behind them that can make plays every now and then and trickle in every now and then. I wish you would have kept Harry Douglas. He went to my own team, the Tennessee Titans, so I guess I should be happy. But I thought you should have kept Harry Douglas. Yes, he's not a good blocker, but in terms of a slot receiver that can make good passes for you, consistent catches for you, or make consistent catches for you, I thought he was someone that was very serviceable in that area, but whatever. Now, unfortunately, that's where it stops. And after that, there's issues with this team. But with that said, the issues are they're not really issues more than they are question marks. Last year, there were issues. Now they're question marks because Dan Quinn came in, added some pieces, some average players in the free agency period, and then drafted. He focused on the draft, and we'll see what that warrants. So the biggest weakness, though, and this has nothing to do with the draft, it's still the offensive line. And it's because Jake Matthews sucks. Thus far. Now, he could definitely improve. He could definitely find himself and begin to play well. But as Chiefs fan, if Eric Fisher has done that yet, and as Jaguar fans, if Luke Joeckel has done that yet, and they'll tell you no. So, until he proves me otherwise, I'm going to assume that Jake Matthews sucks. So, your left tackle sucks. Now, the rest of the offensive line isn't that bad. But when your blind side sucks, that's an issue. All right, you have Chris Chester at your left guard position, Joe Hawley at your center position, John Asamoah at your right guard position. I think his name's John. And then I believe it's Ryan Schrader at your right tackle position. Asamoah's the best one out of there. Everyone else is just, alright. Thank God Peter Cons is nowhere near the starting lineup anymore. Same goes for Sam Baker. Although maybe he should start over Matthews, for God's sake. So your offensive line is still a big issue. Your next weakness, your defensive line. Now, there's 2 young guys that could prove me wrong. In Rashid Hageman, who didn't play much last year, to a 2nd-round pick, 2014 NFL draft, and Vic Beasley, who I do like, and was a 1st-round pick for you guys out of Clemson with the 8th overall pick. Those are 2 guys that, if they play well, then the defensive line will be able to produce more than I'm expecting of them. And also, let's not forget Grady Jarrett, who out of Clemson Clemson, who was drafted, or I believe out of Clemson, who was drafted to be a defensive tackle on this defensive line. He's someone that could produce for you. Jackson Jackson on the other defensive end position, not a guy that's going to get you 10+ sacks right now. In fact, you'd be lucky to get 8 from him. Really inconsistent, but he can make a big play every now and then. You also went out and you got O'Brien Schofield from the Seattle Seahawks. I'm assuming Dan Quinn would do that because he sees something from Schofield and maybe he can produce out there for you. You still have Corey Bierman, who's a good pass rusher, and Adrian Claiborne is there for some reason. You have a lot of, and Malachi Goodman. I mean, why are there all these defensive ends and none of them are good yet? Now, maybe Vic Beasley will be good. Corey Bierman is a serviceable guy, I guess, but no one's really good. I mean, how do you have 6 defensive ends and none of them are really good? Maybe Vic Beasley will be really good, but until then, none of them are really good. Next weakness, linebackers. Just because Brooks Reed, I think, is fine. Just Durant, I think, is fine. Paul Rollo sucks, all right? So he blows and he stinks. So when you have something that bad in the middle of your linebackers, that's an issue. Your corners are a question mark, but or your secondary in general might be a little better than some are projecting. William Moore, not a Pro Bowl safety anymore, but he can definitely be serviceable. Your corners, Desmond Trufant is your best player defensively. Oh, he's your best player defensively. Thank God you found him, or you guys would be in huge trouble. Robert Halford, you've been waiting for him to step up and to start playing well, but I guess, you know, whenever you take 2 corners, good luck. If one of them is good, one of them and Trufant is good, and then Alfred sucks. So, yeah, whatever. But you took another one, and you took Jalen Collins out of LSU, and we'll see whether or not he can do something. Desmond Southward is behind him. He'll do nothing for you. And Charles Godfrey at the free safety position, you should have found a better free safety. The more I go through this team, I don't think I'm going to project them to do as well anymore. But lucky for you, I didn't go to the running backs. Devontae Freeman didn't do much last year, but Tevin Cole as well. Can one of them end up being a good, well, it's probably going to be a running back by committee, but can one of them end up being a good running back? We'll see. Your tight ends, Jacob Tamme, Tony Milwaukee, and Levine Toilolo. None of them are good. I mean, these are all bottom tier tight ends. So the tight ends are bad, but I honestly, I don't care. So with that said, let's look at your schedule. And this is why I'm higher on the Falcons than most. Their schedule is very, very, very forgiving. You guys find yourselves going up against the NFC East. You host Philadelphia, you go to New York Giants, you go to Dallas, and this is all in weeks 1, 2, and 3. I mean, who came up with this schedule? And then in week 5, you face the Washington Redskins in Atlanta. So boom, just like that, in 5 weeks, you're done with the NFC East. How will you fare? I can see you guys going 2-2 there. Now you guys go up against the AFC South, the worst division in football, and this is where your money will be made. As you host the Houston Texans, I believe that will be a win. As you go to the Tennessee Titans, I believe that will be a win. As you go to, as you host Indianapolis, I think that'll be a loss, but you will compete. And you go to Jacksonville. I don't like Jacksonville. I think you go down there and I think you win. So boom, you went 3-1 in that division. And then you guys once again find yourselves in the NFC South. You'll probably split with New Orleans, okay. You'll at least split with Tampa Bay, and you could sweep them. And then Carolina, with the loss of Kelvin Benjamin, you'll definitely beat them once. And you could sweep them. I think it's a possibility, but I'll say you beat them once. So we're talking about, and then you also host Minnesota and you go to San Francisco. Those will be tough. But we're talking about a schedule that's pretty easy. So 2-2, 3. You could go 4-2 or 3-3 in your own division. I mean, right there, I just counted up 3 are like 8 wins, possibly 9 if you can beat San Francisco or Minnesota. And I'm predicting 9. I'm predicting 9 wins for the Atlanta Falcons. Best case scenario, they're really able to take advantage of some of these games. They're able to sweep Tampa Bay. They're able to sweep Carolina. And really, they go 11-5. Like, that's the best I could see them being. But Worst case scenario, I'm wrong. It's going to take them another year for them to really rebuild this defense, but they'll improve. No matter what, they're going to improve from last season. So 7-9. Again, my prediction, 9-7. And I believe that is good enough for a wild card spot this year in the NFC. So quick video here, but the Atlanta Falcons, that's your deal this year in the 2015 NFL season. Until next time, James Carter TV, I'm out. Peace.